Yo, 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 welcome back, everybody, to the third episode in 4 days of the Axe Tier List podcast or channel, whatever the heck you want to call it. My name is Xander. I'm joined with my co host, Avery. Avery, say what's up to the people.
What's up, guys? Always
All
good to
right.
be here.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It always is. So today we are going to be ranking the NFL quarterbacks. This is going to be, I think, one of the most fun ones we do. We are saving wide receivers hopefully for last. So, because that's going to be a little more fun than this, but this I think would be tied for first, if not very, very close second to the most fun I'm going to have with a podcast episode. So, Avery.
And we're getting this one off early, so.
Yes, we are. Avery, is there anything that you want to say before we get started?
Again, as we disclaimed in the last two episodes, same's going to apply here. Everyone's healthy.
Everyone's healthy. Nobody's suspended.
Exactly.
Everybody's available.
Everybody's available. Yep.
Right. Okay.
That's how we're going to rank them. And one other thing, this tier list, right, looks a little bit different than the ones you guys may be used to. It's got a ranking from 1 to 5, 6 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 25, and 26 through 32. We're ranking these in somewhat of an order. We're not going to rank the 1 through 5 in order of 1 to 5, but top 5 guys in any order.
I will try and put them in the order.
Yeah, but these will be the top 5 guys regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless of order. And same with the bottom 7 guys. Those are the bottom 7 guys regardless of order. In our opinions, that is. If you disagree with us, let us know in the comments below. If you agree with us, also let us know in the comments below.
Absolutely. Recommend anything if you'd like. If you want a specific topic with tier list wise done, then go ahead, drop a comment, recommend that, and we will hopefully feature it in the video. Anyway, I say we get started, Avery. I don't know about you.
Let's do it.
All right.
Wow, we're starting off with a banger. Oh, my God.
Oh, yes. Starting off with probably the best quarterback in the league, Josh Allen.
In my opinion, definitely back in the league. It's not even close.
Very best quarterback.
He's in an absolute league of his own. I love Mahomes. I love Tom Brady. Joe Burrow's great. Justin Herbert's great. Aaron Rodgers is back-to-back MVP. I don't care. I want to look at what happened most recently with these quarterbacks for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Who did the best? Maybe it's the guy who threw for 650 yards, 9 touchdowns, no picks, and 149 average passer rating in 2 playoff games, one of which was dubbed the best game in NFL history, and the other one dubbed the first perfect game in NFL history. He holds both those titles. That too. He's just out of this world phenomenal if we look at that. And just look at his career, look at his trajectory. It's not linear. No. This thing's exponential. This thing's curving upwards and trending upwards continuously. It will not drop. I view him as the MVP of next year.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the NFL community agrees because his odds are 7-1, best in the league heading into next season. So I think that's all to be said. He's phenomenal. He's not on a 6-year, $280 million contract for no reason.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely earned his money, and I agree with you on every point of him. He's definitely the best quarterback in the league, hands down. It can be a close call, definitely. I mean, you can't leave out Tom Brady being the best quarterback in the league just because he's Tom Brady. But I do believe that Josh Allen is the number one right now. Speaking of Tom Brady, moving on to Tom Brady, I would just put him up there already. Just put him up there. He's the best quarterback. I mean, what can I say?
Just put it this way. How do you sit there and watch a 44-year-old man who has won 7 rings in the past throw for 5,300 yards, 40-something touchdowns, and 6 picks? We all thought he was going to win MVP this year.
43
Aaron Rodgers was better.
43 touchdowns, 12 picks.
or 12 picks, not 6 picks, excuse me. But still, 5,300
Yeah.
yards
Yeah, no,
at
he's still the
44.
GOAT. He's still one of the best quarterbacks. I mean, he's top 2 right now. He still is going to
I
be
hate
in
it
the
because he's the only thing stopping the Saints from being number one in the NFC South. But
You're not wrong. You're
put
not wrong.
put
I
a
mean, hey,
quarterback like one tier lower on the
watch out
Bucks
for
instead of
Felipe
Tom
Franks.
Brady, and the Saints will take the number one. But for right now, he's phenomenal. He's going to continue to be phenomenal. He will retire the best quarterback to ever play this game, and nobody's going to come close.
Yes.
Negative chance anybody comes close.
It's going to be very hard for a quarterback to come close to what Tom Brady has accomplished over his career. And even at the ripe age of 44, what he did last year, I mean, it's insane. There's not much. There's not enough that you could say about Tom Brady.
Not really, no.
Anyway, moving on to a younger stud in the league, just like Josh Allen, except a couple years younger, a couple years less experienced. Joe Burrow, in his now 3rd year in the league, forget sophomore slumps. He did not have one. He brought his team to the Super Bowl. So, how do we think he's going to do in his 3rd year, Avery?
Let's put it this way. I don't think he's top 5 yet.
Okay. So, would you put him in the 6 to 10 range?
He's 6 in my mind. He's very much there.
He's there.
He's just he has a little bit of a pick problem. He threw, I think, 14, 15 picks last season. Got to keep that under control. But you keep that under control, you continue to win games, go back to another Super Bowl, maybe even win it this time. I mean, do I think the Bengals will make the Super Bowl this year? No, just because the Bills are there. But is there a chance? Yes, and it's because of this man. This man is phenomenal. He came off of a very, very dangerous injury his freshman season, and did this. Took a 4-12 team to the Super Bowl next year, and the next year. He's out of this world, but I think there's one other quarterback that takes a spot in the elite category.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow, he was great coming out of college. He was showing the flash last year. Unfortunately, he got injured, and then he came back, proved to everybody that he can be the man. And he is definitely climbing up there in the ranks, and he could probably be top 5 next season if everything goes well for him. Moving on, Avery, one of the guys that you've been talking pretty high on this offseason, Derek Carr.
Okay, Derek Carr. Let's. I don't know the best way to put this, but he had 4,800 yards last year. He had a good touchdown to interception ratio, and that was without Davante Adams. Hunter Renfrow was his number 1, maybe even sometimes Waller when he wasn't injured. I personally think he's the 10th best quarterback in this league.
Okay.
That's my opinion. But I would not shy away from putting him at top of 11 to 20.
That's what I was saying. I say he would be 12th, 11th best quarterback in the league. This year he's going to be a very, very good quarterback due to the fact that his supporting cast is coming back, and he's now got Davante Adams. So I think he's going to be a great quarterback this year, like you do. But I would say for right now, he would be probably 11 or 12 on the list of quarterbacks in the NFL right now, which again isn't bad.
I could get behind that. Okay. I could get behind that, absolutely.
I like that. I'm glad we agree.
But I think he's going to break the plane next season. That's the thing. I think he's going to break the plane into top 10 category. The top 10 quarterbacks of the league next year. He's great. I think he's going to take that next step into phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think he's
I
going to
can
prove
see it.
why he's the Raiders franchise quarterback.
Hmm. And I can easily see that, just like you. He's now got the guys that he's needed since Amari Cooper um, came in and was drafted by the Raiders. They've now got the guys that they needed. So I'm super excited for this season, especially that entire AFC West. But especially for Derek Carr, because now he's got the best wide receiver in the league, or one of the best wide receivers in the league, with him.
In Devontae Adams. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins, he's an
Now,
interesting one.
I'm going to let you give your 2 cents first before I speak, because I know I definitely think of Kirk Cousins more highly than you do. So I
Mm-hmm.
want to hear what you have to say.
All right. So I would say that Kirk Cousins can be ranked in the top 10 due to the fact that he had a very good stat line last season. But I got to rank him down here due to the fact that he can't finish games. He it's hard for me to rank a guy in the top 10 when your team goes 8-8, and it's because you've thrown some really bad throws in crunch time. So, or excuse me, 8-9 or 9-8 or whatever they went this season. They didn't make the playoffs. So I can't rank a guy who didn't take their team to the playoffs within the top 10 unless I see some like serious skill and or stats that that overdo that. And just his stats this season were great, yes, but I just don't think I can rank him in the top 10. So I think he would be probably 13, 12, possibly 11, but we're giving that to Derek Carr. So 13 or 12 in the league. What about you, Avery?
So I'm glad you ranked him there. I agree with you.
Awesome.
So last season, and I despise the fact that Kirk Cousins gets a lot of hate. Listen, I understand he threw some bad passes in crunch time. He
And
had
that's why he gets a lot of
4,200 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 6 picks. It's not entirely his fault. He was a
No.
phenomenal quarterback last season. He was ranked amongst the best stats wise, because he had a 5.5 to 1 touchdown ratio, touchdown interception ratio, right?
Right.
He had over 30 touchdowns, over 4,000 yards. That's an
Mm-hmm.
incredible season.
That's a great
That's
season.
a great season.
But some of those picks
Were
lost
bad. Yeah.
So
we're not great.
He
But
needs to just fix that crunch time factor, and then I think he's all right. But
I think he's in the same boat as Derek Carr, right?
yeah,
You fix the little things,
yeah,
top 10.
you take that next step, and especially entering his age 32 or 33 season, he can easily take
He's
that next
still
step.
slinging the ball. Fun
Yeah.
fact about Kirk Cousins that a lot of people don't know. Back in 2016, his second to last year on Washington, he throws for damn near 5,000 yards. Throws for 4,913 yards. You don't throw the same justification I'm going to give Jameis Winston, I'm going to give to Kirk Cousins. You don't throw 4,900 yards in a season, no matter when, for no reason, unless you're a good quarterback.
Yeah.
You have a couple things to fix, but you don't throw 4,900 yards in a season for no reason. That's why I think he's right outside the top 10, and I think right behind Derek Carr. Maybe interchangeable, depending on how next season goes. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, I think he's also in the same boat as Derek Carr. He fixes that little thing. He can definitely take that next step. So, next guy we're talking about is a man coming off is now his second year off of an ankle injury that took him out for the rest of the season in 2020, right?
Yes.
So Dak Prescott is a very interesting guy here. Where would you rank him, Avery? I want to hear.
Put him in the back end of 11 to 20. back
Back
end of
end of
11.
11 to 20. Okay, I was
Exactly.
thinking so too. I could make the case for him being in the top 10 only because he has proved now that he can, you know, really come in clutch in some of the games. Now, he's also made some dumb decisions, don't get me wrong, but he's also proved that he can be a finisher in the league. But as I said, I can't he didn't look the same as he did 2 years ago. So I can't really rank him higher and or at least in the top 10, but I definitely can't rank him lower than 21. So
So here's my thing with him, right?
yeah, go ahead.
We've seen his potential. We've seen what he can do clearly because he came into the league, took the league by storm in 2016, and decided to win Rookie of the Year. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He had 23 touchdowns, 4 picks. Who throws 4 picks their rookie season? A good quarterback.
Dak Prescott.
He's good. Dak Prescott. He's good,
Yeah.
but he's dropped off a little bit. But we know
Yeah.
what he can do. I don't think he's in the
And
back half of 21 to 32, but he's not quite there yet. I
yeah,
think we need to see a little bit more. And hopefully next season you can do that because I know he's going to have a really tough battle with another quarterback on this list that we'll talk about later
mm-hmm.
for the number 1 seed in the NFC East. For the top
Okay.
seed, sorry, top seed in the AFC East.
I like the prediction. I like it. All right, moving along, we got Daniel Jones staying in the NFC East. Daniel Jones, he's not a good quarterback to me. I would rank him at the bottom 26 to 32.
I put him in like I put him in like 29 to 32. Like he's that low.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like 27 to 32, but I wouldn't say that he's the worst quarterback of them all because there are some bad ones in here. But but
we know who the worst is.
He's definitely not top 25. So I'm gonna tell you that.
Absolutely, let's put it this way: he's shown flashes of skill. He can run, but he tripped over his own feet. He can throw the ball far, but he can't be accurate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he can catch the ball. We've seen that. You know, he can make the most incredible catch you've ever seen, not from a wide receiver. But does that help you as a quarterback? No, it doesn't.
He's not the best at decision making.
Very inconsistent.
Very inconsistent. Not the best at decision making. Inaccurate. Maybe not very inaccurate, but he's inaccurate at times, and it's just hard to get behind him as a franchise quarterback at this point.
Yeah.
Seeing what he's done, I say we can move along. Sam Darnold will now be battling with Baker Mayfield for the starting job in Carolina. Where do you think he ranks among the quarterbacks?
I think he is the single worst quarterback in this league.
So you think he's number 32?
And it is not even close.
Okay. So why would you say that?
I can excuse the Jets years. I can.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't step into Carolina, who has a stacked team ready for you, some good receivers in DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, how do I put it, nuclear bomb in Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go in there and win 5 games.
No.
You can't.
No.
It's impossible. He's the only one that could do that. I bet Daniel Jones could muster up 7 or 8 wins. And that's passable. This is failure. I don't like him. I haven't seen a flash of good. There's one thing that I've seen in the past 3 years or 4 years, however long he's been playing, that makes me think, maybe there's something hiding in there. And that's a 46-yard run for a touchdown that he had. He can use his legs sometimes, but only when he chooses to. Most of the time he chooses to sit there, ball up, and get sacked. Not helpful to move your team down the field. Yeah. He was 3-0 last year. He was showing pretty good things at the beginning of the year. He didn't throw a pick, I think, in the first 3 games.
Nope.
And then he fell off the face of the earth and lost the next, or 12 out of the next 14 games.
Mm-hmm.
Just fell off the face of the earth. I don't know what happened, and I don't care enough to find out. He's the worst quarterback in this league. That's my 2 cents.
All right. Well, I mean, who knows what this season will bring, if he's the starter, if he is not the starter. But for right now, no, he's not a very good quarterback. Very inconsistent, very lackluster performances from a guy who went number 2 3 years ago in the draft. So speaking of young guys who just came out of the draft, Justin Fields, entering his second year, had a very shaky year last year, was thrown into a terrible Bears team and very poorly coordinated Bears offense. How do you think he'll rank this year?
So unfortunate. It really is. But he came into the league, right? First game he started, he was sacked, I believe, 9 times by the Browns.
Yeah, it was
4 times by Myles Garrett himself. He doesn't have great pocket awareness. He has legs. He needs to learn to use them. If he learns how to use them, I don't see a reason why he can't be a Jalen Hurts or maybe even potentially Lamar Jackson, running-wise, specifically running-wise. Passing-wise, I think he has a problem. I don't think he's accurate enough. I liked him in college. I did. I liked his highlights. I don't like what he's doing in the NFL. He came in the first game and had 1 net passing yard. He threw for 68 passing yards and was sacked 9 times for 67 yards. That's a net gain of 1 passing yard throughout the entire game. I can do that blindfolded. Maybe. Probably not. Scratch, I even said that. Probably not. But
I was about to say, I'm like, that's a little bit of a bold prediction right there.
In comparison to the rest of these guys, I think there's like 1 guy worse right now.
Unfortunate. Wow. So, down to 26th and 32 with Justin Fields. So, second year hopefully brings a little more fortune for his career. I
would love to see him do well. I really would.
He was prolific at Ohio State, and I would absolutely love to see him do well in the league. And bring the Bears a little bit back to relevance and try and dethrone the Packers in the NFC North.
He was a demon in Ohio State.
Absolutely, and I'm excited to see what this year brings with him. Hopefully, it's a little better due to the fact now Matt Nagy is out of the job. Excuse me.
His rushing game was phenomenal at Ohio State.
Yes.
Bring 50% of that to this league and fix your passing game, and we can talk.
Yeah.
But for right now, he is where he is just because of a very, very unfortunate circumstance and a little bit of a lack of skill in comparison to the rest of these guys.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, moving on. Just 3 26 and 32s in a row? 26
There's not 4
32s?
No. Can't be.
You wouldn't rank him in.
Oh, I'd be a moron if I did that.
So, where would you rank Jared Goff?
I'll tell you where I rank Jared Goff. I want to ask you a question. Where do you rank someone who had a 67.2% completion percentage, 3,250 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 picks, and an average passer rating of 91.5? That's not bottom 7. It's not. That can't be bottom 7.
All right. Well, then I can easily put him at the bottom end of 21 to 25.
You see, I think he's more in the mid to top end of 21 to 25. I don't think he's as bad as we think he is. He's shown flashes of being very good.
This is true, but he
I'll
also
tell you, 2018 is the prime example. When he took a team to the Super Bowl, he's capable of doing it.
yes, he is. But it's the Lions.
But that's the Lions' fault. That's not his fault.
No, it's not. But
That's the thing. I want to take the Lions out of it because the Lions are going to screw up the rest of his career. I guarantee it. Unless he just independently goes bonkers next year for no reason, but just goes 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 3 picks. There's no. It sucks. There was one quarterback that I could think of off the top of my head that made it out alive from Detroit. The guy who won the Super Bowl last year. That's it. I don't think he's making it out of Detroit alive in terms of the rest of his career. But I think he deserves a little bit more credit than people wish to give him. He's a story I feel sad for.
Sounds good. It is unfortunate how he went from the Rams to Detroit. But pretty excited about what that brings, as now they have some new talent to complement his passing game. And hopefully
Jameson
he does.
Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown was great last year. DeAndre Swift is fantastic in the backfield and in the passing game. Khalif Raymond is good as well. He showed flashes of being good. Right? And they've got Hawkinson. TJ Hawkinson is a really good tight end. He's got a formidable squad.
Absolutely.
I think he has a chance to do well this year. Better than last year. Last year was good.
He does. He does. And he's only 28 or 26 or something years old or whatever it is.
Yeah. He's 27.
He's got some time. So he's got some time to go ahead and revamp his career. And I hope he does it and brings the Lions back to relevancy. Moving on a little bit.
Let's turn this frown upside down.
Yep,
and
exactly.
Talk about Justin Herbert. Herbo. We love this man. Herbskis. We love this man.
We do love us some Justin Herbert.
All right. Give me about 30 seconds, and I think I'll convince everyone that he's top 5.
All right. Go ahead.
9,300 passing yards and 69 touchdowns in the first 2 seasons of his career. Over 1,000 yards more than anyone else and 1 touchdown above Dan Marino and 15 touchdowns above anyone else. I think that's it.
Yeah, I'd say so.
He's in a league of his own. He's literally in a league of his own.
Yeah.
It's insane.
He has done very well.
9,300 yards. 5,000 yards in his second season. I don't know what to say. I mean, he's my second favorite quarterback in the league, second only behind Josh Allen. I love watching Herbert. I had him in fantasy last year, so there might be a little bit of bias because he, brought me to the Super Bowl in my league where I faced the guy sitting above me, where I got my butt kicked. But that's besides the point. He was absolutely phenomenal, an absolute delight to watch every week. I'm a Saints fan. I love watching the Saints, but when there's no Saints game on, I look for a Chargers game. If the Chargers game is on and the Saints game is boring, I'm switching to the Chargers game because I want to watch this guy blow up the league like no one has ever done before.
I absolutely, I 100% agree. I love watching the Chargers, especially Justin Herbert. He's going to be a young stud, and he's already a young stud, and he's going to be a force to reckon with for years to come. Let's move on now to
one last thing.
I
think Justin Herbert, right? I think this is probably one of my boldest predictions I've ever made. Mm-hmm. I think at the end of his career, he will sit atop the passing leaders. I think he will be the QB to pass for the most yards in a career. I think he's had a really good start. He has a 1,000-yard head start than anyone else did.
Just hope he can keep up the production.
Exactly. But for right now, he's phenomenal, elite tier, number 1 through 5, for sure.
Yes. All right.
Now let's move on to an interesting one.
Let's move on to an
Wait, before we
interesting
rank
one.
him, we spelled an E. Look at that. It's pretty cool.
Oh, we did. Huh. That's fun. Nice. We have fun on the podcast.
Pointing out the nice things in life. Let's go ahead and rank Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts last
season. This
season.
is the guy I was talking about, by the way.
Jalen Hurts last season, great season with his legs. Kind of a shaky season with his passing, but I'm pretty sure he'll up that up due to the fact that injuries ravaged the Eagles last year. So, where I would rank him based on last year in 21 to 25, but based on this year's prospect, I could rank him within the top 20 in the league. Where would you say he belongs more?
I think that's a phenomenal place to put him. 11 through 20. I think he looks huge this offseason.
Yeah.
You see his photos? My God, this man put on muscle.
Yeah, he's put on.
If he's not prepared to throw 4,000 yards, I don't know who is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to be the second installment of Lamar in the running sense. I think this man can have 1,000 rushing yards this season. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. He has the wheels to do it.
He's good.
Yeah.
He took the Eagles to the
very
playoffs.
Good prospect.
He took the Eagles to the playoffs. Now that's an interesting one.
Yeah. All right. Next one, speaking of Lamar Jackson. I would say he was within the top 5, but I'm sure you're going to say 6 to 10.
Yeah. There are 2 other guys on this list that are deserving of the elite status.
Sounds good.
I can't put Lamar in there.
Sounds good. Lamar Jackson is very interesting. He's not the best with his arm. He has proved last season. He proved that his passing can get better. But he's always a threat with his legs. He is the best dual threat quarterback in the league one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the league with no question. I would say even the best, just due to the fact that he has the threat to rush for 1,000 yards and throw for 3,000 in a season. But there are people that'll disagree with me. But Lamar Jackson, definitely a top 10 quarterback in the league. Probably would rank either above or just below Joe Burrow at 6 or 7. But there's not much else I could say about him. Is there anything that you want to add to that?
We thought Jalen Hurts got big this offseason.
Lamar Jackson definitely beefed up a little bit.
Lamar, you saw that video of him sitting on his knees, hucking the ball 50 yards like it's nothing?
Yes.
I mean, if he's not primed to throw for 4,000 and rush for 1,000, I don't know who is. If he's not, if Jalen Hurts won't do it, it's Lamar.
Hopefully.
I really, really want to. He's also, another side note, one of only 2 unanimous MVPs in this league, the other being Tom Brady in 2010.
Yeah.
Lamar was unanimous MVP in 2019 because he threw for 3,000 yards, I believe, and rushed for 1,000 and took a fantastic Baltimore Ravens team to a 14-2 record that season. Mm-hmm. Number 1 seed in the AFC. Do I think he's going to do that again? No. Because the AFC, a lot of the teams in the AFC are stacked this year. And he's got to face a lot of them. At least 9, if not more. Mm-hmm. And a lot more, actually. But he's got to face a good amount of AFC teams. And it's going to be hard. But he's a really, really good quarterback. And I can't shy away from that. He's really good.
No, nobody can shy away from Lamar's skill and Lamar's prowess at the quarterback position. Okay, moving on. Jimmy Garoppolo, who is rumored to be on the move at some point this offseason whenever he is cleared medically. Where would you rank him, Avery? Because I would rank him probably within 21 to 25.
I agree.
he's a good quarterback. He could throw. He could throw. He definitely, when he has weapons, he can definitely hit them. He's an accurate quarterback. He has some pretty questionable decision making sometimes, but he also did take a team to the Super Bowl. So I can't I can't say that he's one of the worst in the league, but he has progressed since that Super Bowl season, unfortunately. But I can definitely get behind him. I don't know where he is going to go or if he's going to start this season, but based off of last season, 21 to 25 is a good ranking for me. Avery, anything you want to add to that?
Um, he's a winning quarterback.
Yeah,
His overall record is 45-18 as a starter.
yeah,
It's
he's a
really
good
good.
quarterback.
You know, sidetrack back to Lamar for a moment. Lamar won 80% of his games. It's also part of a reason why he's 6 through 10.
Mm.
Yeah, but going back to Jimmy G, right? He's won a lot of games. You know, um, he has like I think a 2.5 to 1 win to loss ratio, which is amazing. You know, but skill wise, after his injuries and all that, it's kind of hard to rank him anywhere outside the 21 to 25. He's good,
Yeah,
but injuries have definitely deteriorated his skill.
yeah,
I'll say that.
unfortunately. And he's also kind of getting up there in age, and it's all going to be very interesting to watch unfold. And maybe he stays in San Francisco. I'm sure he won't, though. But moving on to the guy that was very thrown into a very unfortunate situation with the Patriots. He had no offensive weapons besides for uh, Damian Harris, but he wasn't the greatest dual threat running back. He had Kendrick Bourne, yes, that's great, and he also had Jacoby Myers and Hunter Henry and John O. Smith, but he didn't really have a great supporting cast. They went up and they got Devontae Parker, so hopefully he's got a better supporting cast right now. But on for me, Mac Jones is not a is a 21 to 25, probably lower half there. Just because it's only his rookie season, he didn't have the greatest season as a rookie, so but he's also in an unfortunate situation with weapons wise. So where would you say he would be?
Um, hmm. Yeah, he had 13 picks. He had 22 touchdowns, 3,800 yards. It's a good season. Where the average age of his wide receiver room was like 27 or 28. It was
Mm-hmm.
bad. His receiving core was bad. He wasn't. I think he's like 20, 19 or 20.
19
I
to
personally
20.
think he's right at the end because I can already see 3 other quarterbacks that are deserving of the 21 through 25 before he is.
Okay, so 19 or 20. So he's in the top 20 in the league. I can definitely see it. All right. So moving on to the number one pick in last year, right? Last year's draft.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
year draft.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know why I clicked on that. First pick in last year's draft, Trevor Lawrence. Now, based on his prospect, I could definitely put him into the 11 through 20, but based off of last season, he was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. And I don't know where you would rank him, but for right now, I got to rank him down there.
I'll agree. Enough said. He was a rookie. He was in a bad situation. He was coached by Urban Meyer.
Horrible situation. Oh, he was thrown
Horrible.
in the worst situation possible. Now, they've got him supported.
Let me check his receiving core right now. Give me a sec.
His
I know they
receiving
fixed
core
it a little bit.
His receiving core is Christian Kirk.
I think they
and
got. Did they get DJ
Mark-
Chark?
They have DJ Chark, yes, and then
They got Zay Jones. They have
Zay
Laquan
Jones.
Treadwell. They have
There's
LaVisca Chenault. Marvin. No, they didn't get DJ Chark. They got Marvin Jones, I thought, from the Lions.
Oh yeah, no, they got Marvin Jones from the Lions, but is DJ Chark still on there?
I don't think so. I don't see his name, unless I'm wrong, and I just unless I'm blind, can't really see.
Hold on, we got to fact check that real quick. DJ Chark, is he still on? Is DJ Chark still on the thing? Oh, boy. And DJ Chark is on the Lions. Boy.
That's what I thought. And
So,
Marvin Jones is still on the Jags.
much better supporting cast for Jared Goff. We were
Hands
talking
down,
about
much
earlier.
better than last year in
Wow,
terms of her
did not
receiving.
realize that they had DJ Chark and Jameson Williams now. All right,
I think
moving
he's
on
gonna have
to
a good season. Like I think he's gonna have a good season this year, but he threw more picks than touchdowns. I think so.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's bottom of the pack for me.
Yeah. So, moving on to now the Seahawks starting quarterback or potential starting quarterback, excuse me, Drew Lock. Avery, where would you rank Drew Lock?
Down there.
Down there?
Yeah.
Sounds good. I would rank him.
Yeah, he's bad.
I would rank him after Trevor Lawrence.
He's bad. His spatial awareness is garbage. He gets sacked too often.
Too often.
And that's not his fault. The Broncos O-line is good.
He's inaccurate with the deep ball. He is.
Well, let's put it this way. Clearly, the Broncos O-line is good because otherwise Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams would not have been able to do well. But they both had 900 yards apiece and almost combined for, 15 touchdowns? Something like that? Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal by both of them, but that proves that the O-line wasn't bad. It's just Drew Lock.
Unfortunately.
He's bad.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be bad on Seattle, too. The only thing is he does have better receivers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he could do something this season, with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. He doesn't have the running back duo like he used to. He's got Kenneth Walker and Rashad Penny.
Mm-hmm.
It's not great. I mean, I think Kenneth Walker's great, but I don't know how he's going to do in the NFL, which means he's going to have to rely a lot more on his passing, and I don't trust it.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough season if he has to go through all that.
It's going to be a long season for him, then. Yep.
It's going to be a rough season if he has to, and the Seahawks if he has to pass more than he can. So moving on to
Mr. 10-year, $500 million himself.
Do I need the $500 million man? Do I need to say any more? I mean,
he's so good.
He's accurate. He can use his legs. He's not as big as a leg guy as Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, but he can still use his legs. He
throws a lot of yards, throws a lot of touchdowns.
He can throw the ball from Kansas City to Brazil, and he's got a heck of an arm. And unfortunately, his supporting cast sort of downgraded, but also kind of upgraded because now he's got two solid solid number one and a solid number two. But also he loses Tyreek Hill, who was his big play guy. But now he still works with Valdez Scantling and Travis Kelce, excuse me, and now Juju Smith-Schuster. He gets Clyde Edwards-Helaire back. Where would you say he would be top 5?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not even a question.
Yeah. I mean, his
Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's been to 4 AFC Championship games straight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like he's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
He didn't have the world's greatest supporting cast while he was quarterback throughout the last couple of years, but he had Reek, he had Travis Kelce. Those were his two main goons, I guess. They worked for him very well, clearly. He has an MVP. It's a Super Bowl. He could retire in 2 years and make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he could be.
He'd make it. He might even be first ballot. I don't care. He's that good.
Yeah. Whenever he retires,
he's guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famer.
He's definitely going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
He has a lot more accolades than most of the quarterbacks on this list, and so it's hard to argue with him being lower than top 5. Anyway, probably somebody who's going to be lower than I really want him to be. That would be Marcus Mariota. Where would you rank him?
26 to 32. I haven't seen anything in 3 years.
Yeah, no, I can't. That's
At least
about
the
all
last
I
two.
can say. That's about all I can say. He's been a very sporadic backup role.
Let's see what happens
Yes.
with him this year on the Falcons. You know, he's got some formidable weapons. He's got Kyle Pitts,
Drake London,
Drake London, Cordero
Cordell
Patterson.
Patterson.
He's got a good supporting cast. Just
Yeah.
hopefully he can do well. But for right now, I haven't seen anything to be able to put him anywhere close to, 25.
Right. Now, trying to move things along a little quicker here due to time, but Davis Mills, where are we ranking him?
21 through 25. He was
21
the
through
second
25?
best rookie quarterback this season.
Okay. Well, I can't argue with that. He did have a pretty good season for a very, very much failing Texas team right now.
Texans. That's why he's viewed as terrible. Davis, long neck Mills, I think he's going to be good. I just think
give him some time.
Cast.
Give him some time.
Absolutely.
And a supporting cast. Moving on, Kyler
Remember,
Murray.
wait, one last thing. The Texans didn't just get their compensation for Deshaun.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to help him in the future.
Yeah.
And I think within the next 2-3 years, they're going to realize he might be their franchise quarterback.
Possibly.
Because he's
Hopefully.
good.
That is
he showed flashes of good.
Mm-hmm.
So keep it up, and he'll earn that role for a couple of years to come.
He showed in certain games that he can be the guy for Houston. Moving on, Kyler Murray, I would put him within the top 20, but I can also see where we can put him in top 10. So what are your 2 cents on Kyler Murray?
We know he's good.
Mm-hmm.
I love watching Kyler. I do.
Yeah.
Second half of the season collapse. It happened time and time again. Throughout the last 3 years, we saw it.
Yeah.
Last year especially, they went 7-0 and then faced the Rams again and got whooped in the shape of who they really are.
Yeah.
And Kyler got injured. He's out for a little bit. But he's good. He's a really good quarterback. I'm not taking that away from him. I want to make sure you guys know, and Xander, you too as well.
Yep.
I'm not slandering him. He's not a bad quarterback. He's a really good quarterback, and he can be 6 through 10, maybe even 1 through 5. He just needs to work on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's good.
He just needs to get that second half of the season production down, and he will easily.
Production up, you mean?
Or excuse me. Yeah, excuse me.
Have it down any further, he'll be like 21 through 25 next year.
Keep the mistakes down, get the production up in the second half of the season, and I think that we are talking about him in a much different light next year.
Absolutely.
So, Avery, what are one of your favorite quarterbacks in the league? Old run it back for a homie, Aaron Rodgers, who is now back-to-back MVP. Obviously, I would say top 5. What do you say?
Relax. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he's top 5.
Yeah, I'm
just quoting Aaron Rodgers there.
I know.
He's unbelievable. He threw 9 picks, not in one season, 2.
2 seasons, yeah. It's
combined.
It's unbelievable.
I don't even know what to say. He's back-to-back MVP. He is on trajectory to potentially be back-to-back-to-back MVPs, as long as Josh Allen's not in his way.
He can be. He just needs.
He can be. I think it's going to be a little bit harder without Devontae Adams, right, to cover a world of hurt.
Yeah.
But he's one of the best in the league, arguably the best. I can't discredit that. He's arguably the best in the league right now. Can't be back-to-back MVPs for no reason.
Yeah.
You're not the best, right? But
yeah,
I think that's perfect. He's top 5, guaranteed.
Sounds good. All right, moving on. Matt Ryan recently was traded to the Colts for a couple toenails. So where are we ranking Matt Ryan? this season. I
Mhm.
would say 20. I would say top 20, just because he's on the Colts and he's got a great cast right now. But I can also
Yeah.
see where 21 to 25 happens.
No, he's you know, I'm I'm gonna quote the late great tight end Shannon Sharp for a moment here, right? He was traded for a piece of chewed bubble gum and some baseball cards, but not good ones. You know, he was traded into the right scenario.
Yeah.
He was traded into a contender. I'm
Yes.
so excited for this year.
Yeah.
I
Me too.
think he's on the top half of 11 to 20. And I think next year he can prove that he's still potentially top 10 in the league.
Hmm.
He
I
had great numbers on the Falcons last year.
I'd love to see it.
I love Matt Ryan. I really do. You know,
Yeah.
he always scared me when he was on the Falcons because I'm a Saints fan. Because I know he could either be really good or Arthur Smith could screw him up. But you know, now he's on the Colts, I don't have to worry as much, and I can enjoy watching him now. You know, a
Yeah.
lot more than I have.
All right, moving on. Matthew Stafford,
To the
top
quarterback
10,
who just won the Super Bowl. He's
easily a
sick.
top.
He's top 10. He's top
He's
10.
easily a top 10 quarterback.
You
There's
take
no
him
real
out of
denying.
Detroit, look what happens.
I mean, he was still a top 20 in Detroit, but
Yeah.
now he's really vaulted himself into the top 10. He is proving to
4,800
everybody.
yards, an unbelievable amount of touchdowns, a couple of picks here and there. You know, he needs a couple of picks he could fix, you know. But
Yeah.
besides for that, I mean, the only beef I have with him is that he let the 49ers into the playoffs and not the Saints, you know, by losing
Mhm.
week 18 after, you know, having a 20-point lead or 17-point lead or something like that at halftime. But besides for that, he won the Super Bowl, and I couldn't be happier for him.
Yeah.
He's a really, really good quarterback, and he will be for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I 100% agree. Moving on, Ryan Tannehill. Very, very good season 2 seasons ago. Not a great season last season. Would we rank him in terms of, uh, where would we rank him?
21 to 25.
21 to 25. I agree. I was going to put him there, uh,
Yeah.
even if you said he was higher or lower, just because he has the potential. He has that. He has that. Uh, excuse me. He's shown us that he can perform uh, as an elite quarterback. But last season was not great, and right now he just got some of his weapons taken away. So it's going to be hard for him to really bounce back and be that elite quarterback that he was 2 seasons ago. Avery, anything you want to say on that?
You know, the upper management in the Titans organization just made a really big error
Yeah.
trading away AJ Brown for
Mhm.
a guy who puked in his first rookie minicamp or
Yeah.
OTA. I don't remember,
Mhm.
but a mistake, and I think it's going to cost Tannehill the rest of his career.
Mm. All right, moving on. Mitch Trubisky. He is now the Steelers' starting quarterback. I would probably rank him 21 to 25. I don't know about you.
I wouldn't. Well, I would,
I
but I
would
want you to
rank.
take someone out of 21 to 25 and put them where they belong. You know who I'm talking about.
Do I know who you're talking about?
Jared Goff. Put him in 11 to 20.
Uh, mm,
Okay, or not. And you know, the only reason why is I see a couple quarterbacks coming up that I might want to reserve spots for.
well, I also haven't seen anything from him starting wise in 2 years. So I could also put him down at 26 to 32 right now. But
I can.
with the prospect of him being on the Steelers in a different program is great.
Like prospect wise, I can see him 11 to 20.
Yeah, but right
He's
now
not a bad quarterback.
no, but he's been in the
His stats are good. Like let's go through this for a moment. Guys, bear with me.
and while you're getting that up, I just want to talk about the situation right now with Trubisky. Trubisky is Trubisky is coming from a very awful situation, being coached in the Bears, and it's not good. He was not a good quarterback on the Bears, which is why I'm very worried about him being there on in Pittsburgh. But he's now got Mike Tomlin, who's a very good coach. We are good at developing. The Steelers are good at developing quarterbacks, and they also have a. He's now got a very nice supporting cast, and Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, uh, Calvin Austin, and George Pickens. And also include Zach Gentry and Pat Fryermuth in there, and he's got himself a very nice supporting cast. He's got Najee in the backfield to take the load off sometimes, and even for the passing game. So Trubisky has a chance to be within the top 20, but for right now, because he hasn't played in 2 years, it will be just 26 to 32.
See, my problem is I can't keep Zach Wilson out of the bottom 7, so put him in the top. Put him in 21 through 25.
21 to 25. Okay.
Just because Zach Wilson's there. That's it.
I mean, Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's
We'll talk about him in a moment, but
Zach Wilson's been in the news for some interesting things right now. So.
Oh yeah.
So
can't really talk about it, but
I'm not going to talk about it, but I think we got to rank him a little higher for that. I think we got to rank him 1 through 5 just for that. Yeah, if you know, you know. It's so funny. But anyway, moving on to Tua Tagovailoa. He kind of, I don't even know where I could rank him.
I want to put him in 11 through 20.
You can put him in 11 through 20?
Because he made Jalen Waddle look good. He made Jalen Waddle look really good. 104 receptions, over 1,000 yards, a good amount of touchdowns.
Yeah, he's an accurate quarterback.
We made him have a great season. Tua needs to fix some things about himself, but there's no reason he can't be in this tier. There's no reason he can't be in this conversation. Look at the guys below him.
Yeah.
Who are you going to replace him with? You wouldn't, right? At least in your opinion, I would, but that's personally me. In our collective opinion, this is the way it is. I think he's fine there, and I think he's going to prove it this year that he could be and stay within this range. I think so.
All right. Good. I would love to see it. Absolutely would love to see that. All right. Moving on. Deshaun Watson didn't play at all last year. Now has the possibility of not playing this year, but right now he is available. Where would we rank him if available?
6 through 10.
I would say top 10.
It's not even close.
It's very easy. And I say we just fill out the rest of the 6 through 10. Are we putting Russell Wilson in there?
Yeah, of course. So let's talk about them simultaneously, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Deshaun, we've seen, he threw for 4,800 yards, an unbelievable amount of touch. I think 43 touchdowns and I don't know how many picks, but very few.
In
2020, there could have been a case for him to be MVP if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers. But, he was the leading passer. He was fantastic in 2020. There's no reason why he can't be the same. Especially because, he was on the Texans when they had that year. They had D-Hop and
Will Fuller.
No, they didn't. They didn't have D-Hop. I thought 2020 was the year. They didn't have D-Hop at that point. They had Brandon Cooks. Who was he throwing 4,000 yards to? I can't tell you.
Will Fuller.
Will Fuller. But a bunch of other people, right?
Kenny Stills.
Well, actually, I don't know when D-Hop was. When was D-Hop traded?
I think it was 2020. I think it was.
It was 2020 offseason, right?
I think it was after 2020.
Yeah.
So I think it was after.
No. Yes. Yeah. No, he was traded, I think, in the 2019 offseason. Am I wrong on that?
I don't know. We'll fact check that. Hold on.
He was on the Cardinals in 2020. He must have been. Yeah, he was traded at the end of the 2019 season, which means that Deshaun Watson did what he did without D-Hop. The only person he had really was Brandon Cooks.
Mm-hmm.
Great receiver, you know, but you don't have that kind of production with those, you know, with the rest of your supporting cast for no reason. He's that good, and he will continue to be that good as long as he gets his butt on the field.
Yeah.
You know, and gets out of these civil troubles he's in currently. Moving on to Russ. I mean, do I even need to say anything?
No.
2-time Super Bowl appearances, 1-time Super Bowl champ.
Yeah.
You know, him and Pete Carroll made one of the best head coach quarterback duos of the 2010s. I'm excited to see what he does on the Broncos. I'm really excited for that team. That team is going to skyrocket from what it did last year. I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm. Me too. All right, moving on. Carson Wentz.
Are we really putting him in 11 through 20 after what happened last year?
I don't know. I don't know if we can.
Question for you. Who do you think's better, Carson Wentz or Jared Goff? That's my question.
I don't know. They're both pretty bad.
I think Jared Goff is better. He didn't screw his team out of a playoff, out of a playoff berth by losing to the Jaguars. Carson Wentz is on his third team. Everything went downhill after he had his MVP quality season.
Yeah, he shattered his knee after that. So I guess for the sake
unless
of
you
the
want to put Tannehill or Garoppolo in the top 20.
I guess for the sake of the video, we'll put him in the top 20. But
okay,
I still don't believe he's better than Wentz. But
yeah, it's a tough ranking. Let's put it that way. It's a very tough ranking. You guys can interpret it however you want.
Exactly.
Let us know. If you disagree, let us know.
Where are we ranking famous Jameis?
Crab legs, 11 through 20. He's a top 20 quarterback in this league.
Sounds good.
What he did last year is not a fluke. He fixed his pick problem. He just got injured. 14 touchdowns, 3 picks through 5 games. Sounds great to me. Or, yeah, 5 games or 6 games, something like that. Great. He's great. And I think he's going to do great this year despite his injury.
Yeah, I think
what do you think? Any other?
Yeah. I do think he's going to have a great year. I think the supporting cast that the Saints have now is a lot better than it was last year. And now they're going to be getting their superstar, hopefully, and Michael Thomas back. Hopefully Alvin Kamara is back. But
we know he has a pick problem.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a pick problem, but he semi-touched that up. He pretty much touched that up last year. So hopefully that continues into this year. And hopefully the injury doesn't prevent him from, being the best quarterback he can be.
Good quarterback. Yep.
And last guy don't really need much explanation.
On this one. He threw 4 picks in a game against the Patriots, thinking it was Madden.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Throwing he's doing turnaround fadeaways.
Yeah, he was trying to do what he was doing in college, and that just wasn't working out.
It's just not working. I think he'll be better this year,
but
he has a much better supporting cast in comparison to last year. He's got Breece Hall, he's got Garrett Wilson, he's got CJ Uzomah as a tight end, who's a very formidable tight end.
Yes,
but
he's got Corey Davis. He's got based on
what we saw last year.
Yeah, terrible.
He's a bottom 7 quarterback.
Very bad quarterback. Anyway, that's about
guys. I think this about wraps it up.
Absolutely, it was a great time with you guys. Loved spending this time with you as I always do. Love spending the time with you, Avery, as well. Love spending the time to rank all the quarterbacks in the NFL. Avery, anything you want to say before we head off?
No, guys, I think this is This is very enjoyable for the both of us. We really appreciate all the support you guys have given us in the 3 days, and
Yep.
we're excited to continue producing these podcasts,
Yeah.
more and more and more. These tier lists are going to keep coming. So, and if you guys have other ideas besides for tier lists that you think would be interesting to talk about, maybe, NBA free agency is on right now, maybe that would be something interesting to talk about. Who knows? But for now, I think this is us signing off.
Yeah.
It's always fun to be here, and we'll be back.
Yep. And as always, remember you can comment and you can make any suggestions. And I mean, see you guys later. We love you.
Take care.